This jar represents all the reasons you should not move to Austin, Texas. You've heard them online, you've heard them from your friends, but here, today, this is different. If this jar represents your mind full of reasons not to move to Austin, Texas, then today, we're gonna do this. That's right, we're going to clear our minds by taking a hard look at 10 of the most challenging reasons not to move to Austin, Texas. I'm going to be brutally honest, and I won't sugarcoat anything. Together, by looking at the downside and the upside, we're going to learn how local Austinites overcome them. The real question is, can you overcome them? Now, obviously, I would love for you to move here, but what's more important is that I give it to you straight so that you know the whole truth before making your move to the city. Because here's the thing, not everyone can handle these. But if you can handle these, then you can handle moving to Austin, Texas. I'm Adam in Austin, a local real estate agent here in Austin, Texas. Like and subscribe down below to be connected with everything you'd want to know about moving to Austin. Additionally, if you're even considering making that move, then you should definitely reach out to me. Reach out, get a hold of me, and I'll gladly help coordinate your whole move to Austin, Texas. But for now, let's face the brutal truths about living in the city and conquer them one at a time. All right. First one up, growth. Okay, Austin as a city is growing very quickly, and that's both exciting, but at the same time, that leads to a lot of growing pains. By living here, you have to accept that the city you love is actively growing and may not be the same city tomorrow. For example, the population is growing rapidly. In the 1990s, our population was under 500,000, and now it's just shy of 1 million. It's practically doubled since then. During this growth period, there were actually 12 years in a row where Austin was ranked the fastest growing metro. With new people moving to the city, we had to build new housing. Between 2010 and 2020, Austin expanded faster than ever, adding more than 90,000 units. To give you context for that, New York and Houston were the only cities to add more units during this time, and their population is more than double Austin. Even still, during this period, Austin was adding units at a faster rate. This growth has led to the rise of many suburbs and cities around Austin like Kyle and Buda and Georgetown and Round Rock. Georgetown actually ranked as the fastest growing city in 2022. It added more than 50,000 residents in that year alone. One suburb, Manor, saw its population grow by over 85% between 2014 and 2023. This rapid growth is ongoing today, and not just in the suburbs, it's happening in the city too. A new study showed that Austin had the #1 ranked highest apartment construction rate. This is out of all US cities in 2025. It's expected to add more than 15,000 units in 2025 alone. But where are all these apartments being located? Skyscrapers. Here's a fun chart of all the skyscraper growth in Austin over the years. In the 1990s, Austin only had 10 skyscrapers that were over 300 feet tall. Today, that number has skyrocketed to over 60 skyscrapers. Growth can be a challenge, especially for local Austinites. I'm actually curious, local Austinites, put it in the comments. How do you deal with growth? How do you overcome something like this? This is how I see it. Look, Austin is definitely changing quickly, and you wouldn't want to move to the city unless you're okay with a degree of change. The good news is that Austin, unlike other major metros, it's still growing. And if you play your move right, your investment will grow too. Did you know that between 2014 and 2024, the median home price went up 85% here in Austin? Imagine if you purchased a home back then. Now, obviously, growth during the pandemic was unprecedented, but still. With all of this change comes a significant investment opportunity, and you can be a part of that. On to the next one. Ooh, all right. Construction. Okay, this is perfect. So obviously piggybacking off of growth, in order for a city to grow, you're gonna have to endure lots and lots of construction. Some of the construction is making locals feel pretty frustrated.
This guy's like, I'm tired of these cones. He got out of his car to move the cone.
For other locals, it's just making them do absolutely crazy things.
This video of a man swinging from a construction crane high above downtown Austin was recorded by Jack Zimmerman Sunday morning.
Yeah, that video's nuts. When I saw that, I was blown away. With rapid growth, you can just expect rapid construction happening all along the city. And what exactly is that leading to? I actually did an entire video on all the upcoming developments that are happening to the city. It gives you all the answers. It's super fun, super wild, and really informative. But basically, along with smaller projects, Austin is taking on a lot of massive projects that are going to change the dynamic of the entire city. Some of the big ones to be aware of are I-35 construction, the renovation of the airport, construction on Rainey Street. They're planning to redevelop 6th Street, and they may even be redeveloping the southern part of the waterfront, adding skyscrapers over there too. Many of these projects will cost billions of dollars and have timelines that'll go on for years, not months, years. Here's the thing you need to process about moving to Austin. Austin is not a fully developed city. This amazing place that's attracted nearly 1 million people hasn't even reached its full potential. You have the opportunity to buy into a small city that's going to turn into a major city over the coming years. If you're going to wait until all the construction is done, you'll never move here, or at least not for 10, 20, 30 years. And at that point, who knows where you'll be and how much a home in this city will cost. Also, who knows how much appreciation you're going to miss out on because you couldn't deal with a little bit of construction. You can handle dealing with a little bit of construction because you know the city is building a better future and you're going to be a part of it. All right, next one. Transportation.
It is 9:30 on a Saturday morning. Why is there traffic? Go home and go to sleep!
If you're looking to move to Austin, Texas and hoping to rely on public transportation, you might be a little let down. There might be better solutions for this in the future, but for now, you're very likely going to need a car. Austin is the 13th largest city in the United States, and so many people think that our public transportation is likely to be on par with those of New York or San Francisco or DC or Chicago, but it's just not there. Although Austin does have a decent bus system taking folks around town, it's not the type of system that you really want to rely on routinely to get to work. There is also an above-ground light rail that exists, but again, it's not something that people routinely rely on, and it doesn't really go to most of the places you'd want to go. Biking is an option in the city, but it's just not as bike-friendly as a city like New York. You really don't want to use a bicycle as your main means for transportation. Taking all this into consideration, you're really going to want to use a car as your main method for getting around. Being that everyone's using cars in a city that's rapidly growing, that leads to traffic. Now, in my opinion, this traffic isn't crazy, but you will have some traffic, which is going to lead to a lot of time in your car. I actually featured this chart breakdown in another video of mine, and I think it'd be helpful here. The video I shot is all about where you should be living in Austin. Feel free to check it out. In it, I do a whole breakdown of the map of the city, but right here, I'm doing a breakdown of commute times. This should give you an idea of basically how long you might be sitting in your car depending on where you are in the city. The thing about Austin is there's way less sprawl compared to other major cities. So if you're okay with sitting in your car and dealing with some moderate traffic, then you can handle this. Ooh, culture. Austin's culture is really one that prioritizes good food, good music, and a good beer. It's unpretentious and super laid back. For many people, this is amazing. But for some people, this isn't a cultural fit. If you prefer hustle culture or the finer things in life, there's a chance Austin's culture may not be the best fit for you. Also, if you're just looking to interact with fellow Texans, Austin might not be the right city. Although yes, there are plenty of Texans here, there's also tons of transplants from California, New York, Florida, and Washington. Now, although there are plenty of areas around Austin that are keeping things weird, there is also a booming tech scene. Many of these folks don't necessarily have an interest in that culture. In fact, many of these folks have brought a lot of wealth with them.
As of December, there are more than 30,000 millionaires, 86 centimillionaires, and 9 billionaires.
A lot of this growth has led people to think that Austin's changed and it's lost its culture. I don't think Austin's lost its identity, but I do think it's turning into a major city. And major cities have cultural diversity. And because there's significant cultural diversity, I think you can find your culture here too. Because Austin has grown so much, whether you're looking to keep Austin weird, start a tech company, or live a luxurious lake life on Lake Travis, Austin has a place for you. The other good news is that because there's so many transplants here, Austin is actually a really friendly place. It's easy to make friends here because many people are new and trying to meet each other. Now that being said, many people do feel that finding your cultural fit here can be regional. Some folks would argue that the Keep Austin Weird vibes have moved south, that the tech scene has moved north. If culture is important to you, then it's extra important that you understand what that culture is and where that culture may reside within the city. If this local knowledge is important to you, then it's super important that you reach out to someone like me when you're thinking of making the move to the city. I can help point you in the right direction. I'm Adam in Austin, a local real estate agent here in Austin, Texas. I help folks move here all the time. If you're looking for added guidance on what part of the city might be the best cultural fit for you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can help point you in the right direction. My contact info is below. Call me anytime with any questions you've got. I love helping folks out. That being said, let's get back to the video. All right. Ooh, spicy. Politics. Okay, here's a fun way to think about it. Austin is both a city that hosts protests for Elon Musk at the Tesla dealerships, while at the same time hosting pro-Trump rallies on Lake Travis with tons of boats. So it's very important for you to understand what you're getting into from a political perspective when moving to Austin, Texas. Although Texas as a state historically has been Republican, Austin is said to be the blue oasis in the red desert. Basically, what this means is Austin is a liberal bubble in a red conservative state. This is important to keep in mind depending on where you land politically. Now, unlike other liberal cities that might be liberal cities in liberal states, Austin is a blue bubble in a red sea, meaning it is a liberal city in a conservative state. What this means is that unlike other liberal cities that might feel completely liberal, Austin actually has a whole mix of ideas going on. Although the city leans liberal, it is by no means a completely liberal city. And also because the city is geographically pretty small, you drive 15 to 30 minutes outside the city and you definitely feel like you're in a red state. Again, all of this is important to keep in mind if you're considering moving here. Only you know your politics and how you'd fit in a city with this type of political dynamic. The good news, again, is that although Austin may lean one way, there really is a rich tapestry of political viewpoints here in the city, which really means you should be able to find your people too. All right, weather. Honestly, the weather here in Austin is not what you'd suspect. First things first, let's knock out the obvious one, hot summers. Yes, there's gonna be hot summers here. If you're coming from a hot climate, this might be something you're used to, but if you're coming from a colder climate, this might be tough. And sadly, it seems like the heat may be getting worse with time. The summer of 2023 brought 69 days over 100 degrees and was the second hottest summer on record. Just before that, the summer of 2022 brought in 67 days where the temperature was over 100 degrees. This was the third hottest summer on record. That being said, the past couple summers have been much cooler in comparison. It seems there's a degree of variability to all this. But there are other weather conditions here in Austin that are bizarre and wild that you should be aware of. There are floods from time to time. Fortunately, the city of Austin has creeks and dams and spillways to protect it from any major flooding. Hailstorms. When hailstorms hit here, they hit hard. What about lightning storms? Lightning storms here honestly can be pretty dramatic and pretty beautiful. Freezes. This is super rare, but it can happen. Temperatures drop, causing water to freeze against tree branches, windows, anything it can stick to. Snow. Sometimes it can snow here. Tornadoes. Tornadoes are even less likely, but they can happen. From time to time, they can form and pass through the city. Now again, I'd like to put all this in perspective. Summers are a guarantee. Floods, hailstorms, lightning, they happen a few times a year. Freezes, tornadoes, snowstorms, they happen every few years. So many of these things aren't really that big of a concern. Fall and spring in Austin are absolutely beautiful. Our winters, they're mild. The biggest one that you're gonna have to routinely reckon with here in Austin is summer. Most locals here use summer as an opportunity to either jump in the lakes or go on vacation. And you can too. Next one. Allergies. Let's start with a hilarious photo of the allergy medication section in an Austin Walgreens during peak allergy season. Does it look like there's demand for allergy medication? You may want to reconsider moving to Austin if you have really bad allergies. Austin is a hotspot for a variety of allergies, including mountain cedar and ragweed. Austin's weather plays a pivotal role in contributing to higher than normal pollen counts. Warm temperatures and extended growing seasons allow plants, including allergenic trees and grasses, to thrive throughout much of the year. Additionally, the generally dry conditions in Austin, especially during the summer, contribute to the dispersal of pollen as wind can carry the particles over long distances. The combination of warm temperatures, extended growing seasons, and dry, windy conditions amplifies the impact of common allergens like cedar and ragweed, making Austin a challenging environment for individuals prone to seasonal allergies. Check out this car. It's covered in pollen and it's coming from these cedar trees, which funny enough, these are technically ash juniper trees. Either way, if you're here in Austin, you call these cedars and you hate them and they're everywhere. Local Austinites, comment down below. How do you deal with these allergies? The way I see it, these allergies actually don't affect the majority of people. And for those that are affected, many simply just needed to take an over-the-counter medication, some basic allergy pills or a nasal spray. Some others just use air purifiers in their home. If you can deal with a little bit of allergies, then you've got nothing to fear, so... Whoa, all right. Taxes. All right, now I'm just gonna give it to you straight. Property taxes in Texas are high. The national median property tax rate is around 1%. Here in Texas, it can be anywhere from 2 to 3%. The amount you're gonna pay is based on your home's assessed value. So basically, let's say you're looking at a $500,000 home in Austin versus another city where property taxes are 1%. In Austin, those property taxes between 2 to 3% could come out to $10,000 to $15,000. In that other city, they're as low as $5,000. That could be about a $10,000 difference, all just in property taxes that you'd be paying living here in Austin, Texas. So how do we wrap our heads around this? A lot of people are totally okay with the higher property taxes because in the state of Texas, there is no income tax. Some states have super high income taxes exceeding 10%, but here in Texas, it's 0. This can have a major impact, especially if you're a high earner. This can totally compensate for the high property taxes. As long as you understand this give and take and you're okay paying a little bit more for property taxes, let's take this one and just... Guys, I just want to say, I think we're really clear in our heads. Ooh, okay. Pests. If you're moving to Austin, you should definitely prepare yourself for some pests. And Austin's got some wild ones. The ones people talk about often are scorpions, coyotes. There's also tarantulas and rattlesnakes. Look, although these exist here, they're super rare. Don't let them drive you crazy like this guy.
I put my shoes in these bags because I don't think scorpions or tarantulas know how to untie knots yet.
That guy's nuts. These pests do exist here, but they're really uncommon and they really shouldn't be your focus. The more common one I think you should be concerned with is mosquitoes. If you come from a place where mosquitoes aren't really a concern, then just prepare yourself. You may have to eat your outside dinners like these girls.
I don't want to spend too much money. Why don't we go get a menu? Okay. And then come back. Right. We'll look at the menu together. Okay. Sitting outside. Yes.
I've been there. Look, the rainy season, May through November, are when the mosquitoes are most prevalent, and they're even more abundant after big rainstorms. That being said, if we're in a period of drought, which we've been in for the past few years, the mosquito issues really aren't that big. Also, if they're getting bad in your yard, lots of local Austinites just hire companies to come out and spray the yard. Finally, location really matters on this one. The prevalence of mosquitoes can vary widely depending on where you are geographically within the city. The limestone cliffs of West Austin, for instance, have better drainage and have way less mosquitoes than East Austin. East Austin has flatter clay areas and the mosquito issues can be much more abundant. This again is super important insider information that you're going to want to know and that you're only going to be able to get from someone local who knows these things. Luckily, now after this video, you know an agent in the city who can get you this kind of information. With all that in mind, let's knock this one out and tackle our final fear about moving to Austin. Final one. Ooh, okay. Bubble. The final reason some people say they don't want to move to Austin is because they say the bubble popped. And I'll be honest, they're not completely wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been consistent interest in the city of Austin year after year that is still present now. But there was an inflated amount of interest during the pandemic.
So it feels like Austin's housing market continues to skyrocket. And that's because it is skyrocketing.
As you all know, these were not normal times, and they produced not normal results. During that time frame, homes were selling insanely fast, with dozens and dozens of offers, sometimes going for tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars over list. This was not normal, and honestly, this is not the kind of market that you want to be buying in. Now, things in Austin have normalized quite a bit, and that means prices have come down and competition has come down too. This is the kind of market you want to be buying in. Many of the people who bought during the pandemic wish they could have waited until now. Austin as a city is still growing, and investing in your future here is a better idea now more than ever. So we're going to take any of these doubts surrounding the bubble? Let's pop them. All right, guys, we did it. We looked at some of the most troubling reasons people use to not move to the city of Austin. We processed them, and here we are on the other side. We're still alive and kicking. If you've watched this video and feel good about handling these things and are interested in knowing what are the next steps for moving forward on your journey to move to Austin, Texas, let me present them. Below is my contact info. As I mentioned earlier, I'm an agent here in Austin, Texas. If you're interested in moving to the city and want to chat through your next steps, give me a call, send me a text, give me an email. If you're looking to work with a fun, insightful, no BS agent, then I'm your guy. My contact info is below and in the description. I'm based here in Austin and I love helping folks move to the city. Reach out to me and I can make the process fun and easy. Call me. Just give it a ring. Lastly, real quick, while I've got you, if you like this video and want to see plenty more like it, then you should definitely check out my channel. I've made videos explaining the entire map of the city, giving folks a clear picture of where to live. I've given in-depth house tours on some of Austin's nicest homes. I did a whole video highlighting where the ultra-wealthy live in Austin, looking at all these neighborhoods. I did another video just focusing on upcoming developments to the city that are going to change the skyline and the future of the city forever. I've taken you underwater at the Barton Springs pool just to see what's at the bottom, and I've even interviewed Californians who moved here and then moved back. If you want to learn anything and everything you can about the city of Austin, then check out my other videos.